I caught that. I was ready for that.
We are recording.
We are
live.
We are live from
Sweden.
From Sweden.
Yeah.
Lovely. What are we doing here? How did we get to Sweden?
We're assembling flat pack furniture, singing ABBA songs, and eating meatballs.
Welcome everyone to the Coin Bureau podcast. Mike.
Hello, Guy. How are you, man?
I'm very well, thanks. I'm very well. It's good to see you.
It's good to see you too.
Can I ask you a personal question?
Sure.
How is fatherhood?
It is tiring.
Yeah.
It's a milky nightmare of just baby spit, sporadic sleep, and hormones.
Right.
And the baby is also a bit of a nightmare too. It's been great. I've enjoyed it.
Yeah.
I'm done with it.
But you've had enough.
I've had my fun. This has been a great 2 weeks. Send the bugger back. Spectrum of colour of shit.
Right.
Yeah, it started off very dark and tarry. It's now kind of like a quite tasteful sort of mustardy yellow at the moment.
Sounds a bit like my bathroom.
I love this this Owl Bitcoin t-shirt you've got on.
Oh, thank you.
Is this something that you, because as we've mentioned on the pod before, you do have a love of owls, don't you?
I do.
And is this something that you've had designed?
Yeah. So yeah, I've always been involved with designing the Coin Bureau merchandise.
Oh, so you're to blame for a lot of the monstrosities that have been. Ooh, you think that's the first time Mad Mike has upset some of the big boys?
So I said, look, can I have a crypto owl, a Bitcoin owl T-shirt, whatever, and can you get someone to design it? Yeah, all right, fine.
With the laser eyes.
With the laser eyes. So I was sent this, and I was like, yeah, I love this. So is it going to go in the store? When's it going to go in the store? And they just said, I think this is just for you guys.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, I disagree.
You'd like to see it in the store, would you?
No. I just think some children would love this as well. It's buy this for your enemies.
I was on a stag weekend in Nottingham, an old friend of mine, and we had a kind of action adventure weekend, whitewater rafting. This was March, by the way.
Oh yeah,
whitewater rafting, as in March, in the year, not like last March. It was March. It was cold. It was damp. We went whitewater rafting. We went paintballing. But this guy had broken his leg playing rugby the week before,
and then
was in a wheelchair and couldn't do any of the activities. So he had to watch us all rafting down the River Trent, and wishing we were elsewhere. He was sort of sat in his wheelchair watching from the top of a kind of grassy mound. And then
no one pushed him.
No one pushed him.
No.
And then we begged the paintball people, who, let's face it, I mean, some of these paintball people are pretty shifty characters.
Yeah.
So we were like, look, I know he's in a wheelchair,
but he's a dab hand.
Can we just put some protective overalls on him, put him in the middle of the battle, and let everyone just take pot shots at him all battle, because he's getting married, his life is over.
And we'd like to compound that with bruising.
And we would like, and we don't feel that we've humiliated him enough, and they wouldn't let us. So he had to sit the paintballing out as well, and then we all went to
even more humiliation.
Even more humiliation.
It's basically like a kid having their party and then having to just sit in the corner while everyone else has fun.
Basically, everyone else gets a party bag. Everyone else gets to play pass the parcel. Everyone else gets to play hide and seek and be.
Did they allow him into Hooters, or was there stairs?
They did allow him into Hooters.
Okay.
So then we went to Hooters, and this was at a point in my life where I didn't have very much money. In fact, I was completely broke. And all the other guys, they were a really lovely bunch of guys, but they were all like super high powered. They all worked for like banks and hedge funds. And there was one guy who worked for a wine importer and just sounded like he had the best job in the world. Anyhow, they were all loaded, was the thing. And one of the lowest points in my adult life came when the bill at Hooters came out. And I mean, it wasn't huge because it was Hooters. But my card got declined by this. And the girl, the sort of chesty girl who was...
had a cough, did she?
Yeah, she was a bit hoarse. She was obviously taking the payments, and as you can imagine, I'm not criticising the ladies who work at Hooters at all in any way. But as you can imagine, she was tough. Like,
oh yeah, they've got
to
to have a veneer for and a guard against the kind of twats.
Yeah,
who may frequent that store.
Yeah, I mean, she must deal with a lot of crap from a lot of arseholes. So she was really hard-nosed. She did not take any shit from anyone, and she just made me feel like 3 feet tall.
Ugh.
And eventually, the investment banker sat next to me, who was a very nice chap, bailed me out.
Well, it's about time it happened that way round. Let's be honest. Fuck, we've been bailing those cunts out for fucking decades. I got you this time. Oh, great, cool. What interest do I have to pay you back on this? Those chicken wings that have cost me a leg.
Makes a nice change.
Makes a lovely change for an investment banker to bail Joe Public out.
And that was my small way of striking back against the banks.
Yeah,
and I feel it was small.
Oh, they'll get you.
Small but powerful.
You think he's forgotten about that?
I mean, I had to pay him back.
Yeah.
He sent me his bank details.
Did he?
Yeah, and obviously Sweden's in the news a lot at the moment because ABBA are reforming, aren't they? Or they've reformed and are now.
I didn't know they split.
They split.
Split? What? This is a nightmare. Are they all alive?
They're all alive, yeah.
Okay.
But they've reformed and are now going to be performing as holograms. Oh, here we are, folks. We're recording from Sweden today. And let's just give a quick recap of what we talked about last time before we launch into today's episode.
Sounds good.
Last time we talked about the history of money, didn't we? We talked about money as a technology that's evolved over time to become more usable, more useful, and it's driven human innovation. It's driven our achievements. And we also looked at the different types of money. I found that really good fun, looking at the way in which certain things were used as money. We talked about commodity money, didn't we? And
yeah.
You could pay in salt. That was one of my favourite, and we got the Latin word. We got the word salary from that, a particular high point. And we also looked at things like the gold standard and the pros and cons of that, and how we moved from a commodity money system to the current system of money that we have today, which is obviously the fiat system. And do you remember what fiat meant?
I don't.
This is a...
I'm just full of meatballs and schnapps, so my brain is not working today.
I'm going to give you a pass. You're a new dad. You're obviously not sleeping. You're obviously sort of semi. But do you want to hear a couple of fun facts about gold?
Yeah.
Good, because you're going to anyway. What is your what is the best Die Hard film?
2? 3?
Yes.
Okay. I'm getting too old for this shit. I know. So
the fact that Die Hard 3 is the best Die Hard film is backed up by statistics. That I.
Which one is 3 and which one is 2?
So let's.
Which is the one in Yokohama Towers?
Nakatomi Plaza.
Whatever.
So I'm going to title this episode, provisionally, How We Move Money Around and Pay for Things.
Okay.
I think that's a pretty pithy title, don't you?
It's pretty wordy.
Really,
it's not the best. Really How we move money around and pay for things.com.
Really trips off the tongue, I think.
Yeah.
I hope it's going to do what it says on the tin. Maybe I'll think of something more pithy for the actual.
Easy come, easy go.
Oh, I like that. Okay. Easy come, easy go. How we move money around and pay for things. Now, some of what we're going to talk about, it might seem on the face of it kind of a little basic, a little elementary.
To you. I'm learning.
To you, it's going to
this is calculus.
You are going to have your mind blown. So what are the benefits, do you think, of that, of transacting in cash? Is there anything that kind of leaps to mind?
Traceless. Do you know what I mean? It's kind of, it's anonymous, really, isn't it? So you could be paying me for something that might be a little bit shameful.
Yes.
Legal, but shameful. Like an adult magazine.
Okay, yeah.
Or something, or you know, or something else.
Yeah, or something else. Something that I don't want other people to know about, something maybe illicit, or something that, you know, I would rather...
Yeah, it's personal.
Yeah, it's personal. It's just between me
A Brazilian butt lift.
For £10. Wow.
It's not the best job. But
it's not the best example.
Yeah.
I've seen you many years ago. I think you were sort of putting I think you'd had a couple of drinks, and you were trying to put your wallet in your back pocket, and it was just missing, and you were just dropping it on the floor, and then you did the same with your phone, and you dropped it on the floor.
Yeah.
And I was like,
that sounds about right.
Yeah, I was like, Mike, come on, you know. So how do we solve the problem of transacting at a distance then? How do we get...
Catapults.
I set up a catapult, and I hope that it lands.
Yeah.
That's an innovative solution.
Hey.
I hadn't thought of that.
Well, shotgun.
Catapults.com.
Yeah.
Get that address registered. Well, I would say...
Isn't that basically TransferWise? No, or what's the one where you send it to relatives abroad?
Western Union.
Western Union.
Yeah.
Essentially.
Essentially putting it in a catapult. We got payment providers, things like PayPal. Yeah, or Venmo. Look at
Cash
that.
App.
Cash App, yeah.
Got one.
We were right. We were really in sync there.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't think of Cash App. If you've seen the movie Heat, for instance. I mean, if you've seen any number of Hollywood movies. But yeah, security vans, armoured cars, whatever, they get robbed. They get held up. So that's...
And then the liability changes.
Yeah. Then
that goes to someone else.
Then things get really complicated.
So is this like when you used to spend on your bank card and it would see in your bank account, you'd look at it. Mm-hmm. I've got loads of cash.
Exactly.
I was out on the Raz last night. Don't remember what I spent. May have dropped my wallet.
Yeah.
May have bought a couple of lucky ladies, a couple of lemon sherbets. Wake up in the morning, didn't seem that bad.
Yeah.
A day later, I'm eating gruel for the rest of the month.
Exactly. And this takes me back to when we were at university together. I mean, this used to happen all the time. So this is about 20 years ago now, isn't it? But maybe not quite. God, really? 20
It is.
years?
Yeah. Interesting story. One New Year's Eve, we went out, and we were somewhere on the King's Road, and I was living beyond my means as you do.
As you always do.
As you always do.
As you've always done, yeah.
And for some reason, I decided to buy some bottles of champagne.
I remember this.
And it was 260 quid, which was 260 quid I really shouldn't be spending on champagne. And when the guy I had a skinful already. And when the guy handed me the card payment to put my signature on, because I think it was that long.
Yeah.
I signed it and thought it looked a bit funny.
Right.
And the next day I woke up and I'd been charged £2.60. And the guy had just forgotten to put in a zero.
Yeah. Oh, my word.
Which, I mean, look, everyone's a winner there, apart from the bar.
Yeah, apart from the bar, yeah.
But I'm pretty sure I put more than 260 quid into that bar.
I think they probably...
they probably did all right.
I
don't think they were too out of pocket.
Yeah. And obviously we conveniently can't remember the name of the bar. So
the bar has probably changed hands several times. Probably due to the fact that they're giving away bottles of champagne for £2.60.
They're funny money and they're funny ways.
God, the problems we had when we'd go away on holiday, and you'd just be dealing with a brand new currency, and you're going, "Am I rich? Am I poor? Am I how much is this beer costing me?
Yeah.
Am I getting fleeced for this henna tattoo?" Yes, is the answer to that one.
Yes, you are wasting your money.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. You go abroad and you think, okay, this is a funny looking banknote. It's got a big number on it. Is that good?
Or should I wipe my ass with this?
Yeah, that question that came up a lot.
You been to Kenya?
I haven't.
Should we go?
Shall we?
Let's get some shillings and farthings. Do they have farthings as well?
Possibly. No, I haven't looked that deeply into Kenyan
I'm just
currency.
surprised you knew what Kenyan's currency was.
It's all up here, man.
Yeah,
It's all up
impressive.
here. It's a fountain of
Unless you're
knowledge.
making it up.
It's actually something completely different. No, I'm 99% certain it's shillings. Wow.
It tidies up the hair a bit.
Yeah. I thought you were looking well groomed.
Well, I need to have a bit of a beard trim, but like.
But until then,
it feels quite nice as well.
Until then, a comb will do.
Can they hear it?
Yeah. Any ASMR fans? Well, folks, you thought this was a podcast about crypto and money. No, it's a lot more than that.
Hairs brushing.
It's about
brushing against each other. And the sirens in the background.
It's also about weird oral satisfaction. Let's move on.
It's the worst day ever.
Oh, no.
This guy's got no money. Decline that shit.
So, I don't mind using the bus. I quite like it sometimes because I still get a childish thrill from going.
I still get a child ticket.
One, please.
One, please.
I still get a childish thrill from going up to the top deck and sitting at the front. I'm almost 40, and I'm not ashamed to admit that I still get a slight frisson.
Pretend you're driving the bus.
Pretend I'm driving.
He's special, little B.
just let him get on with it.
Yeah, I'd rather go back to bartering.
Yeah,
like it's just
rather go
easier
back to paying with salt.
Yeah,
and lumps of metal. Yeah, I'd quite happily I'd sacrifice a lot not to have to go back to checks. But also this whole idea of having to walk into a bank branch and.
Can you imagine? Yeah, you're at a restaurant.
Yeah,
you've got your meal. Mm-hmm. The bill comes, and you start writing out a check these days. It's all right. I've got my check guarantee card.
Yeah, I've got.
What was that about?
Yeah.
A check guarantee card? Because then you'd show the check guarantee card, it would guarantee it for like 100 quid or something. Mm-hmm. How backwards was that?
I find that absolutely mind-boggling. Now, I did a bit of digging and I found a list of the world's most unbanked countries. And it makes for pretty fascinating reading. So at the top of the list, and this I believe is pretty up to date. I think this is dated 2021. This list. At the top of this list, you have Morocco.
Wow.
I was surprised about that. 71% of Moroccans are unbanked. Yeah. And actually, I looked this up before we started. Do you know how many people in the UK are unbanked?
40.
You look like you're on safer ground with that bet. It's actually, from what I could find out, 1.3 million.
Okay.
Well, that is staggering. So we are, I think the UK...
68 million.
Yeah. So, that's a significant amount of people.
Yeah. I was just on my phone there because...
Because you were drifting off.
No. I wanted to find out what percentage of the world doesn't have access to the internet.
Okay.
And it's 60% of the world has access to the internet.
It's amazing, isn't it?
Which is infuriating because 3 in my house, I can't get signal in my living room, and it's infuriating. And 60% of the world can, but not you 3. I can't get a decent phone and internet signal in my living room. Sort it out.
And yeah, there are tons of reasons why we might quite legitimately not want people to see what we're spending our money on. And I don't think you have to be a huge kind of privacy hawk to feel like that. I think everyone should be guaranteed some degree of privacy. Everyone has a right. Privacy is a right and not a privilege, or at least it should be. If only there was a way of transferring money between ourselves that didn't involve banks, third parties, costs, extensive infrastructure, and that was available to more people across the world, not just the 69%. What could it be?
Find out next week.
Thanks for listening, everyone. I hope that was useful. I will put some materials in the show notes so you can see where I got a lot of this information from. And stay tuned for our next episode. It's been a pleasure. Mike, anything you'd like to say?
No, just keep getting buses.
Keep getting buses. There's a mantra to live by. Goodbye, everyone.
Ta-ta.